Hi guys, Ashley from Ash Cash Budget here. Sorry for the not so good quality video I'm about to bring you. I can't really do screencasting from my computer because, as I've mentioned before, it's not really in that great shape. I also can't really do screencasting from my phone because I would have to do a voiceover, and my computer can't really do editing right now because it's not in good shape. So I also don't have my paper format because I don't have a new calendar yet for this year. I'm going to wait to see if I get anything for my birthday, or I'll get it with my birthday and Christmas money because that's coming up within a few days. So usually for the first few weeks of January, I don't really have a calendar. And that's mostly just to keep track of what is currently in my account, to keep that budgeted so I know how much I have and able to spend. So if you'll see, this is January and already I'm $320 over budget. $320.13. That's just currently. I might make a little bit more at work. We will see. Right now I'm estimating $850 for my first one and $600 for the second one. And $605.93 is my boyfriend's half of the household bills, which is just carrying over from last month until I get in all of the bills for this month and can figure out how much each half is going to be and how much those bills are. So I'm not going to adjust it any further. I've taken off as much as I could out of my budget. I'm only paying minimum amounts towards sinking funds, towards debt, and towards my living expenses. I've cut out as much as I can. I've squeezed it dry. Because if you can see from last month, I had $3,300, minus my boyfriend's amount of $600 there. So if you take $600 out of there, that would be $2,700. But this month is only $1,450, just about, something like that. So it's a huge difference. So that's why I'm down to my minimums, but I'm still over. So either I have to make that up with work or I make that up in other ways. Otherwise, anything that I have left over at the end of the month that I need to put into it, it'll come from the January fund. And I'm actually going to prioritize some of my sinking funds this month because that is one of my goals of 2018 and it is a priority. So even if I have to take from that January fund to complete everything, that is what it's there for. I can refund it later in the year, but I want to take out as minimal as possible from that fund. Hopefully not anything. If I can make up that $320 elsewhere, I won't have to take anything, but we'll see. And this is just the minimum amounts that I can pay, that I've really deducted down and decided what I can live off of. So my savings, my sinking funds here, emergency fund is done for now. Car maintenance, after everything last year, it really is a high priority for me. So I got to my minimum goal of $500, which was one that I was going to aggressively pay up to $500. It's at $500 since at the end of December. And then from here on out, I've said I'm going to pay $50 to $100 per month. So $100 on better months, obviously, but even $50, even though I'm not going to get much money this month, it's a priority, $50. Same thing with medical. Its minimum amount is $50. I want to try to get up to $350 as fast as I can, as aggressively as I can, because I will have doctor's appointments and dentist appointments. And my deductible is $350. After this month, I'll be at $225, but I can't really put much more into that. I want to aggressively fund the moving fund, but it had to just get knocked out for this month because there's no minimum amount I've sent. It's just an aggressive fund. It's going to have to just wait this month. I can't put anything into it. The registration fund, sorry, I'm skipping around here. The registration fund here is a top priority, but my registration is going to be due in March of 2019. So I actually still have 14 months to fund it. So I'm going to wait this month. If I make enough next month, I will start putting my $10 in there because I told myself $10 per month, which really at $10 a month it is about $100 for 2 years. So I could actually fund that within 10 months. But so if I cannot pay it next month either, I will definitely pay it in March, which will give me a year to come up with that $100 for the registration. And then that registration will cover me for 2 years for my car. So that is on the line items now because it's a new one, but I am skipping it this month. It's only $10, but it'll help a little bit. Finally, show and gifts. Yes, I'm putting my minimum $30 in each of those because with the show, there's a show up this month that I'm probably going to want something from. I'll try to control myself. And I really want to make sure I get up to my goal by the time May comes around for Lion King so I can maybe buy somebody a ticket and maybe some memorabilia there. So yeah, it's a little skewed priority, but it is something that I know I wasted a lot of money on before I started this journey. So it's something that I'm going to budget for a little bit to, give myself a little bit more freedom where I have to be constrained most of the time. So I'm putting that in there. And gifts, I do have to put that $30 minimum in there, which I plan on doing each month because there are birthdays this month. So I do have that $30 in there. Housing, $850 for rent, which is the usual, which my half is $425. So me and my boyfriend split rent, city, electricity, and cable and internet. The mobile phone here, $99.21, which stays about the same. Sometimes it changes by a few cents. That is all mine. Everything else we split in half. It comes out of my account, and then he pays me half. So I have the full amounts here, and that's why I have his half as an income. So rent is $850. City last month was $89.17. So until I get the new bill for these three, they're staying the same. Electricity was $55.60, and cable internet CenturyLink was $217.08, which I don't really. It's a lot. I'm sick and tired of cable and the cable part. I need internet. Transportation. So my gas, I have definitely cut down. So usually for my cash envelopes, I get $90 for gas per paycheck. But definitely, since I know I'm not going to be getting as many hours, I'm not going to be driving as much, so I should be able to get away with $60 per paycheck for gas. And I did give myself $90 last time, even though I knew it would slow down because I had more money in December than I will this month. So that'll kind of help me too. So $60 is saved throughout the whole month, $30 per paycheck. Save $60 for the whole month from gas. Groceries, especially because we are getting a little bit of extra holiday pay from the church. I can skip out on my contribution to the groceries. My boyfriend and I split church duties, and all of that money goes towards groceries and household. So being that we get a little bit more, it's a little bit safer for me to not contribute what extra I would. Usually for groceries, I do an extra $40 from my personal check, which saves me $80 a month by cutting that out. And then it also saves me $10 per paycheck for household, so $20 a month there. Pet care is high priority though, $20 a paycheck, so I'm still paying $40 for the month. Clothing is lower priority. I have some money saved up in there in case if I need anything this month, but that's $10 per paycheck, so I'm saving $20 there. Medical, high priority, $25 per paycheck, $50 a month. It stays. Personal, I've squeezed that down a lot, so it's only $50 per paycheck now, whereas it was $100, which I might have to go up again after this month or two per paycheck, but I've got it down to $50. I used to do $200 per paycheck, so it's really saved a lot. $100 for the month. Blow money, which is my walking around at work, pocket money, if I want to go out to eat or anything like that, coffee or anything. Took that out of the equation, which is $20 per paycheck, $40 for the month. Saved right there, especially because I got some Starbucks gift cards for the holidays, so that'll help me out with some coffee if I need it. Hair is probably going to be one of the first things instated if I make over that $320 deficit, but by cutting it out, I save $20 per paycheck, $40 for the month. Health insurance is $150, and that is through my boyfriend, so I pay him back by taking it off of what he owes me for his half. And then my mom and I think maybe we should look at different insurance carriers. But my auto insurance, I do pay it to my mom. We're on an insurance thing together, so that's $105 per month. Now my loan is at 0. I can move that down to the bottom of the list with Visa and Care Credit because it's done. It's out of here. I don't have to pay it anymore. So that's $0. Capital One was $100 or is $100 minimum. Discover, if you saw my debt snowball, I did mess up. I paid it late in December, which gave me a $27 late fee, which I did get waived. I got it waived, so that's awesome. But you have to pay your late fees as well as your minimums. So it brought my minimum up to 110. And even though I got it waived, it still says 110. So I want to make sure I pay the right amount. I will pay that 110. It should go back down to 85 next month. At least that goes to the principal on the card and not towards a late fee because I got it taken off. So it's always worth asking if you've had a really good record with the company of paying on time. I paid on time pretty much the whole time. So they were able to waive that for me. And then finally, my federal loan, $130 minimum. I could cut that out because I'm technically paid ahead, but that $130 minimum pretty much covers the interest most months, maybe a few dollars more on principal, but it basically covers the interest, and I really don't want to go backwards in my debt snowball and have $130 extra next month because I didn't pay that minimum payment. So that is staying on there. So I've squeezed everything down as much as I could, and right now I'm 320 under, but hopefully I can get either more hours or I can sell something, or just there's a whole month worth of things that I can try to figure out what to do so that I can make up for that and take as little as I possibly can out of that January sinking fund. But that is what it's for, and that's why I call it the January sinking fund, because January is notoriously the slowest month. But we will get through it. This is the first month actually budgeting correctly during January, like the first time, because I started this journey in March last year. So this is really the first time that I'm setting down what I want to pay and living on as minimum as I can to make sure that I make my money stretch as far as I can. We'll see how January goes. I will post the buttons up above to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and a video that YouTube will suggest for you. Give me a like. Let me know what your plans are for January. Do you have an irregular income where you have some slow months? What do you do to stretch out those dollars? But I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.